Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Majestic speaking, and based off the very fancy new intro, you could see that I've been doing a little bit of editing, teaching myself with a new program. I'm trying to learn it as best I can, and I have you guys to thank for supporting the channel constantly, continuously to make that possible. This video, obviously, as you've all been waiting for, is the results of the 2K giveaway. So we're going to go through everything. We're going to go through each individual score first, and then we're going to go through the team score and, kind of put everything in perspective and context for you guys, just to see, what kind of rounds you guys were doing in these medium mechs. First and foremost, before we dive into everything, I really want to point out that the round scores that you guys submitted were absolutely unbelievable. These are some of the best rounds I've ever seen in general in the game ever. I can't really speak more about it than saying that, because some of these scores, they're like, you hope to one day get them, and the fact that they happen during this event, I think it's very special. And, it's really cool that everyone who did participated, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys saw it from the perspective of being like a cool, neat little challenge, competing against each other a little bit, just trying to have some fun, instead of just the random picks out of the hat, for the giveaway winners. I just thought it would be cool, especially for 2,000 subscribers at this point, for you guys to have a little bit of a competition with each other, and go about it that way, so you guys could settle it all on the battlefield. I'm just more of the judge than anything. But obviously, I think the biggest factor to weigh in during these rounds is the damage. The damage that was done in a medium mech. Obviously, you're still pretty light on the armor comparative to a heavy or an assault. You expect a lot of damage to come from a heavy and assault. But when you're doing a ton of damage in a medium, you're utilizing the entire mech. Both the armor, you're probably torso twisting a lot, you probably have a mix of speed and DPS that are available at your disposal. And these are some of the, the best rounds that, that were submitted. I mean, so you guys could see what is actually possible out there. And hopefully you guys will understand that and take it from that perspective. Again, the voting was subjective, so, I did take everything into account. I took damage into account for the most part. Kills and assists. So kills are obviously, they're kills, so obviously they weigh heavily out there on the battlefield. But assists is also a pretty big one. Helping your team out, not necessarily getting the kill shot, but coupling that damage with that assist score is also pretty critical. And then I also factored in things like the map you were on, what kind of build I can imagine you playing with, given the mech. And then, just kind of putting everything into perspective. The game mode, seeing the final result. So who was left? Was it just you? I also factored in whether or not you were defeated and whether you died. So if you were defeated and you died, obviously that weighed against you. And again, if you were defeated but you were still alive, I factored that in there as well. I don't know if you were being a coward or if you legitimately were working your way out and one of the other objectives were met. I don't know if if you won but you died. Obviously, that does still take a factor into play as well, because of the fact that obviously you helped your team to victory. You put out the score that you did, but you helped, if not helped more, carry than anything your team to get to victory. So hopefully you guys take them all in context. Again, there is no these are just the top 10, and I really factored in as much as I could. Some of these scores were just so close, and I just had to go with what I personally weighed heavier out there on the battlefield, as opposed to what you might think. I don't want anyone to get upset if they didn't win, because the scores that I got were absolutely incredible. So whether you're on this list or not, a lot of props, I guess, to you guys even the ones who aren't on the list. These are some fantastic scores that you all submitted. So do not be ashamed. Just because these top 10 are there, it's more to put things into perspective. So you guys have something to look forward to aim for, to try and achieve with your mechs. You were all different tiers, so you also have to keep that in mind as well. That I can't say, what everyone's tier was. I didn't ask for that when the contest first started, but I took it for what it was. Whether you're tier 5 or tier 1, your score is your score. And I really just hope that you guys take it in perspective of the fact that this was supposed to be fun. So if anyone didn't have fun doing this, or at least competing in the sense of trying to get one of the best top 10 scores on here, I guess don't participate next time, because that was the intention. I'm not trying to cause any bad blood or obviously I'm not choosing favorites, because some of the names on this list I've never even seen before. So take it from that perspective. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm doing this for you, as the support, as the subscribers to the channel. I just want to thank you guys again so much for helping getting me to this point, and all I can hope is that, especially with editing now, that the channel growth continues. And with that being said, let's dive in 6.5 minutes into this video. I think it's time to give some results. I will put obviously the timestamp will be in the description anyway. But at this point, let's move on. First up, we have Thundercat in his Cicada. A Cicada with 1429 damage on Frozen City. The brand new Frozen City. 4 kills, 6 assists, and even of those 4 kills, 7 times he did the most damage. So you can imagine those 4 kills, obviously he probably did the most damage, and then he had 3 more where he didn't get the kill shot, but he still did the most damage out of anyone. He did have a little bit of team damage there, but I guess when you're doing 1429, it kind of doesn't really matter. You clearly carried the team with that kind of score. So hopefully you guys can see that and appreciate it from what it was. Excellent, excellent round. This is the overall, factor, or the overall score from the rest of the team and the rest of the players that he was with. Doubled almost everyone, including the enemy team, out there on the battlefield. He was one of the last 2 surviving, and they were playing skirmish mode. So it was just him and Devnull who survived, and a Mauler. So, with a medium and a heavy left, with that kind of score, it's hard not to make this list, because you're really putting in some work when you're doing that kind of damage. Those kinds of kills, assists. Clearly was a team player by the number of assists. Was able to, pinpoint that, get that accuracy down, and or up, I should say, and really get those kill shots. Excellent, excellent round overall. Congratulations, Thundercats. You are in the top 10. Next up, there we go. Next up, here we go. We have Psycho Cop. Psycho Cop did a number. In a 1X, nonetheless, my favorite mech to take out there on the battlefield. I know that the picture is a little granulated, pixelated kind of thing, but I could still make it out regardless. Grim Plexus was the map that was played. 1 kill, 8 assists, but 1306 damage. Woof. You put in some work, especially with that mech on this map. That must have taken you quite a round to do that. To use a Blackjack 1X and get this kind of score on this map, even with it being skirmish, excellent, excellent job. You did die, but despite that, you pretty much carried the team. You had 2 disconnects on your side, and somehow you guys still wound up pulling it off. Even the guys that were, on the battlefield with you, some of them didn't even pull half your weight. So, when you're taking that into consideration, there was clearly a carry here, even though Psycho Cop died. And, he really put in some work with that 1X. So I have to give some appreciation, especially because of the fact that I mean, when you take it in perspective of what it is, another inner sphere medium making this list. So really props to you, Psycho Cop. Excellent job. What a fantastic round you had in that 1X. Great job. Congratulations on making it to the top 10. Next up, we have Calf. This is Calf's score. Also on Grim Plexus. 2 kills, 5 assists. Even though he did 2 killing blows, he had 4 times doing the most damage. 1,250 damage. Absolutely incredible. Excellent job, Calf. Man, that is quite a score, especially with the limited team damage. You know, I really give you a lot of credit for that. You were on the losing side, but you did not die. And I don't know if that was because of cowardice or, like it says, they gathered max resources. So you could have just run away and waited for the time to go out, or you could have legitimately be fighting, and they just capped the scores. But regardless, unreal score. You were the only one that survived on your team, and with that kind of score, look at the rest of the scores on the enemy team. They pretty much were pretty evenly distributed around the board. If you look at Calf's team, I mean, he easily doubled everyone on his team. In some cases, probably 10 times. And it looks like he had a disconnect with Mishi no Ketsuna not doing anything. But in any case, excellent round, Calf. That was in a Hunchback 2C. So the first clan mech to actually make it into the top 10 came, as the third slot. These aren't necessarily these are the top 10. I'm putting them in order based on how I graded them, so you could see this is clearly third place, I guess you could say. Regardless, whether you're first or 10th, you made it into the top 10. So congratulations regardless, but excellent round, Calf. Hunchback 2C, 1250 damage, 2 kills, 5 assists, and you survived despite losing. Nice work. Next up, we have Josh Unger with 4 kills, 1 assist, 2 solo kills, and 3 times doing the most damage. 1170 was the damage on HPG Manifold. Now, that might not, to some of you guys who submitted other scores and everything, you might be like, well, it's not as good as the other ones. Well, yeah, I mean, he's in the 4th slot at this point. But when you take into account the game mode, did I go back? Yes, I did go back. The game mode and what mech he was using. A Griffin 2N, ladies and gentlemen, on HPG Manifold. I can only imagine that was probably a brawly build, as most Griffins are. And you could see there was clearly another carry here. No one did even half the number of damage as he did on his team. The closest on the opposite side was from a Warhawk that did 982 damage. But Josh, you really put some work in with your Griffin here. Excellent round of gameplay. 1170, 4 kills, and 1 assist. So you're pretty much the kill shot, but you definitely helped out in more ways than one, doing a lot of damage in certain places. So I can only imagine, who the I guess the beneficiaries were of the damage that you were dealing. Excellent round. Congratulations, you made it into the top 10. Next up, crappy video or screenshot quality. Horrible. I don't know if I almost deducted points because this was so bad. I was like, why the heck do I even have to try and make this out? But you know what? It was Josh Unse, or Unse. I don't know how to pronounce it. Congratulations, Josh. You made it into the top 10 despite the worst screenshot quality I think I've seen so far. 3 kills, 8 assists on the Mining Collective. Did 4 times the most damage with 1,119 damage done. Did some team damage there, but putting everything into perspective, this one I guess is a lot better. Wait, is that this? Yeah, 1119. There it is. The Shadow in a Shadowhawk 2K, nonetheless. So when you take that into consideration, especially on a map like Mining Collective that is very skirmish brawly, very close range, and a Shadowhawk nonetheless, Whether you were doing a sniping kind of move or you were doing, you know, more skirmish brawly on the front lines, that is an incredible score. Helped out the team a crap load. 8 assists. So despite those kill shots he was getting, he was also dealing some team help with that damage score. He survived. They won. And, you know, it was domination on Mining Collective. All things taken into consideration, I definitely felt that that was fitting for a slot in the top 10. Excellent job, Josh. Fantastic work in your Shadowhawk 2K. Another Inner Sphere medium has made it onto this list. So just in case you guys are thinking the clans are OP, you know, I know that some of the others on this list are clans, but, you know, the Inner Sphere mediums came out to play, I could tell. So fantastic work. Let's move on to the next winner. This was Will Hissam. Hissam. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But if I think about it, everything again in context, 2 kills, 4 assists, 5 times doing the most damage. So he only got 2 kill shots, but he still helped out do 5 times the most damage on Polar Highlands, nonetheless. Fantastic work. 1,116 damage. Did a tiny bit of team damage, but they won. They're on Polar Highlands doing skirmish. And Will, you were in a Nova, so, you know, I give you a lot of credit for running around in a Nova, especially considering I know the majority of the builds on Novas nowadays are with that power glove right arm with the small lasers, really shredding through everything. So I'm not sure if that was your build, but a Nova is hard, for me at least, to pilot nonetheless. So the fact that you took it out there into a map like Polar Highlands, and whether you have that power glove with the small lasers or not, that's an incredible score for that mech on this map. So excellent work. You could tell he was only one of 4 remaining on his side. Easily did the most damage between both sides. Again, 2 kills, 4 assists, 1116 damage in a Nova. So representing the clan side came Will here. So excellent work. Congratulations, you made it into the top 10. Next up, we have Dr. Ryan, or as he's known in-game as Promessa. 1 kill, 10 assists. What a team player. Excellent. I like that. 1116 damage. So he only got 1 kill, but he helped 10 people get other mechs down while also dealing 7 times doing the most damage. Unreal. Especially given the fact that you are on Alpine Peaks. Do you know how hard it is to tap 10 mechs on Alpine Peaks? Sometimes I don't even see 10 mechs by the time, you know, the round is over. So that was quite the round that Dr. Ryan had here. Excellent work. Again, 1 kill, 10 assists, 7 times doing the most damage, 1116 damage in total. Did the smallest bit of team damage, but still nonetheless a fantastic round. And he was in a Phoenix Hawk, guys. That mech, I have never seen it break like 800 damage. So the fact that he did 316 more damage in it is unreal. Fantastic work to you, Dr. Ryan. You did quite a job out there on the battlefield. Given Alpine Peaks Conquest game mode, I know you're running around, and the whole point of this game mode is to run around, so you're probably more likely to run into different targets, but still, nonetheless, this map is huge, and the fact that you tapped 10 targets and did that kind of damage, definitely deserving of a top 10 slot. Again, congratulations, and let's move on to the next winner, Banana Peel. One who frequents the streams, constantly is, involved on the videos and everything like that. Great to see someone who's a subscriber be rewarded here. Again, I was completely fair. If he didn't make the top 10, he wasn't going to make it. But I took everything into consideration here. 4 kills, 6 assists. Of all 4 kills, he did the most damage. In total, he did 1084 damage. Absolutely incredible. Quite a round from Banana Peel, especially here on HPG Manifold, one of my favorite maps in the game. Well, my favorite map in the game, but for the intents and purposes of the video, definitely one of my favorites. And you can see he was also in a Hunchback 2 2C, the B variant. That seems to be the Hunchback 2C variant of choice. Is that B variant with the, I believe that's with the ballistic hard points. 1084 damage. Again, 4 kills, 6 assists. You must have been running around on HPG Manifold like a maniac, because when I'm looking at some of these other mechs that were out there on the battlefield with you, you had 2 Jenners, you had 2 Shadow Cats, a Nova, another Hunchback 2C that did only, what, a third of the damage you did? Quite the round from Banana Peel. Excellent, excellent work. Definitely have to give credit where credit is due, and definitely deserving of a top 10 slot. Congratulations, Banana Peel. You are in the top 10. Next up, Toxic Yogurt. Yogurt. Yeah, Toxic Yogurt. So emphasize on the hurt, I guess. 2 kills, 10 assists. 1 time doing a solo kill, 3 times doing the most damage. 1022 was the damage done. Did a smidgen of team damage, but still, nonetheless, definitely a team player. And taking into account the map that he was on, Alpine Peaks, again, is one of the biggest maps in the game. So the fact that you were allowed to touch on 10 targets now in skirmish mode, so not even trying to collect resources, but skirmish mode, is an absolutely fantastic round. And, you know, you got the 2 kills in there. You were in a Shadow Cat, so again, representing the clan side. You know, I can only imagine you were probably in a sniper build, if I had to guess, especially on this map. And, you know, to do 2 kills and 10 assists with that kind of damage in that mech on this map, definitely deserving of a top 10 spot. It's very hard to get assists. And although you see some big assist scores in this round with Yogurt, he definitely is deserving of it, especially when you compare even the other side that didn't even do remotely close to what he did for his team. 1 of 6 to survive, so it might have been a little bit of a stomp, but nonetheless, excellent, excellent round. You were clearly running around all over the place, definitely deserving of a top 10 slot. So congratulations to Yogurt. And the last but not least, drum roll please. Well, I'm not going to do a drum roll. But anyway, 10th. Root Beer, you made it, buddy. Root Beer made it into the top 10. 6 kills, 5 assists, 5 times doing the most damage of his 6 kills. 1009 was the damage done, along with 12 components destroyed. I think that is definitely something to highlight here. Unreal from that perspective. Look at the C-Bills and XP this guy earned for this round. Unreal. Fantastic job, Root Beer. That is quite the round, to say none the least. Nonetheless. Along with, you know, and some of the other scores, you know, you might have had higher damage. I know some of you are probably looking, well, I had higher damage. What happened? Again, I took everything into account here. Grim Plexus is another brutal map to play on. And when you factor in the damage with the kills, assists, you know, components, everything, you don't know in what capacity that might have helped his team. We're only getting a snapshot. Again, you know, no pun intended, but we're only getting a snapshot of what was actually performed out there on the battlefield. So congratulations, Root Beer. 6 kills, 5 assists. You were 1 of 4 to survive with that score, you know, on Grim Plexus in skirmish mode, and clearly carrying a lot of the team. 12 damage on a Cheetah, 69 damage and a 1x. You know, you were really an MVP this round, so congratulations, Root Beer. Again, pretty shitty screenshot quality, but I definitely, you know, kind of disregarded that because of the rest of the score. Again, 6 kills. That's, you know, that's getting close to Ace of Spades territory, so definitely well-deserving of a spot on the top 10 list. And that is going to... Wait a minute. That's right, how could I forget the lucky dog, the 11th person to make it onto this list, the one that was just off the cusp of making it into the top 10. I want to reward one more person for putting in their effort for this challenge that I feel is definitely deserving for it, one who just missed making that top 10 mark, but still did a fantastic round. The lucky dog for this medium 2K sub giveaway is Finn Schmidke, or Schmidke, Schmidke, Schmid. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but Finn Schmidtke, you are the lucky dog, the 11th person to win for the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. Here in his Nova B, he did 4 kills, 5 assists, 4 times doing the most damage. So out of all the kills, he did the most damage for each of them. 10-13 was the damage done with 9 components destroyed. But the kicker, the thing that put this match specifically over the top is look at the map. Tourmaline Desert is where he was competing in his Nova B. And this is not only a very, very tough map from a distance perspective, but it is extremely hot. And I can only imagine that with that Nova B loadout, he probably has the power glove on there with the small lasers and somehow managed to do decent. With his heat management ratio, he got the damage down 10-13 with 4 kills, 5 assists, was helping out the team, definitely clutch when it came down to it from an accuracy perspective, getting those shots in, getting the kills, helping out the rest of the team. But again, taking everything into consideration, he didn't do any team damage, and when you look at that score, the 4 kills and 5 assists, he was one of 3 people left in Conquest. And with that kind of damage, that amount of kills, assists, components destroyed in that particular mech on this particular map is something special. So I definitely want to give credit where credit is due. Definitely an unbelievable round. Fantastic work, Finn. You made it. You're the lucky dog, man. So thank you so much again for competing and for this submission. Thank you so much to everyone for all of your submissions. This was such a fun giveaway for me to do, a fun little competition to see how you guys are competing out there on the battlefield. I knew that the battles were going to be intense, and I knew that this giveaway and this competition was going to be the most intense because if you look at our streams, or the stream history, these are the mechs that everyone is competing in. Whenever we do medium mech drops, like all focusing on one particular either mech or variant or something or other, we usually wind up doing the best. So I had a feeling that this was going to be an intense competition. And if you didn't make it into the top 10, that doesn't mean you didn't have a fantastic score. I was just taking everything into consideration again, so don't think that, someone's better than you, someone's not. Again, you also have to think about the fact that everyone in this list is on a different tier. So, that might be something that I'll look into for the next giveaway is, screenshot your tier, screenshot your mech, screenshot your round, screenshot your team, screenshot everything so that I know everything when I'm making the decision about who makes it onto the list. But, just from, I want to keep everyone on a level playing field. I don't want anyone to think that they're getting special privilege from being in a different tier. So, I really just wanted to make this even across the board. You just do what you got to do. You play in your mediums. You have fun. You compete against each other, and you do the best you can. I mean, this is like, if I see that this giveaway turns into, people getting bitter or upset that they didn't make it onto the list, then obviously I won't have them in this kind of format anymore. But I really do hope that you guys appreciate it from the standpoint of me trying to instill a little bit more fun amongst you guys. I gave an ample amount of time for this giveaway, for this competition to be completed, and, I really wanted you guys to have fun with it. Just enjoy it for what it was, and have fun, even if you saw each other out there on the battlefield and you're competing against each other. Like, to me, that's probably the most fun aspect of, hopefully for you guys, that I would think is part of these giveaways is, the aspect of knowing that you're competing. And if you see someone else there that's on the list, your friends list that is a subscriber, and you see them out there on the battlefield and they were in a medium, they're probably competing for this during that time slot. So I just really wanted to, again, instill some competition, some competitive spirit, some fun from the perspective of just enjoying the game. Having fun out there, even if you didn't win, it's supposed to be fun. So hopefully, the little bit of competition in there was just a little bit of an added bonus for you guys. But nonetheless, I hope that you're having fun with the game. I'm still having fun with it. That's why I continue to play it, record it, and post it for you guys. But, again, I hope that you guys at least are having fun with it. thank you so much again for all the support on this channel. Reaching 2,000 subscribers is quite a milestone, and I really do have all you guys to thank for it, whether you're spreading the word or even just constantly posting. When you like the videos, that helps out a ton. So if you did like this video and you enjoyed the competition, even if you didn't make it into the top 10, but you enjoyed the competition, you enjoyed the video, you enjoyed seeing these other rounds that I'm posting for you guys, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, become royal today if you haven't already. If you didn't like the video or you didn't like the competition, please let me know. I want to hear about that in the comment section. I love all kinds of feedback, and I don't want you guys to hold back, but I do appreciate it. I don't like when either you don't leave a good, like, a thumbs up, or you leave a negative comment and there's no explanation. It's just like, you were bad or something like that. Like, I don't know, like, what does that mean? And what, so just, give me the feedback regardless. I appreciate it either way. Thick skin over here, so whether it's good or bad, I'm going to take it as it is, and appreciate it nonetheless. Think about it from the perspective that you guys are thinking about it, and any kind of feedback that you give me, I would really appreciate. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Mech Warrior Online 2,000 subscriber giveaway results. I hope you guys again enjoyed the competition, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care, guys.